Hello and welcome back to DIVO TED Talks. Devoted Talks, DIVO TED Talks, however you want to pronounce it. So my name is Nicholas and I am the original DIVO. I've also got my lovely decal behind me and on me. I am so glad to be here with you guys. It has been nuts since I opened the studio, and I'm so glad to have the opportunity to get back to podcasting and to communicating with y'all. Oh, my goal was to do twice a week before, and I think I have a plan in place with the help of my VA to make sure that I can deliver that for you guys. So, what do we do here at Devo TED Talks? We are here to take ancient wisdom, blend it with more modern modalities of either psychology, of fitness, of movement, of wellness, any of those, and integrating them in a way that it's easy to understand, relatable, and is accessible to the average person who's looking to make a change in their life. Shout out to people who are members at Devo Wellness or the OGs at Devo Fitness. So happy you guys are here. And to all the new listeners and people who maybe are listening to this at a later date, I'm so glad to connect with you. So that being said, recently got my studio open. As of right now, I'm recording on Earth Day. Happy Earth Day. It's April 22nd, and we opened on roughly January 1st. And it's been a lot. There's a lot of things that you can't anticipate about being a business owner until you're actually getting the doors open, whether it's who you're going to work with, whether it is random homeless people living outside or people lighting grills on your property or them doing construction on the road outside like's happening right now. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And you can't prepare for it because it's just not really known until you're in the mix doing it. So hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to be here. And let's get down to it. So something that's been on my mind a lot lately is authenticity, right? Authenticity. How do we be authentic, right? Sometimes we think authenticity is speaking our mind, and sometimes that's true. But what really is authenticity? To me, authenticity is really expressing that which is truly you, that rhythm that you march to, the beat of your own drum, the way you look at things, the way that the world appears and reveals itself to you, to me, is authenticity. Getting somebody else to agree with you isn't, to me, being authentic. Just saying whatever you think, to me, is not authenticity. Unless somebody's asking you to tell them what you think right now. You could be authentic in that moment by expressing that. But really, sometimes people use authenticity as an excuse to be cruel, to be mean, to make a power grab, or to assert something, whether it's for survival means, right? They want to feel validated, or because they always grew up in a place where they had to fight to create a space for themselves, rather than a cooperative unit that works together and everybody together makes the whole work. That's to me what a family could be, and I would aspire to have a family be, right? Not having kids just to do the work, but having kids that as they become more self-aware and more self-expressive, they fulfill roles within the family unit, whatever that may be. And so thinking of the family as a whole organism, much like we are a whole organism, our heart does one thing, our lungs do one thing, our spleen does something, our kidneys do something, and together, cooperatively, we have a functional being that I identify as Nicholas. And so a family unit themselves can be a cooperative unit that identifies as something, perhaps the Kimpses or whatever last name or designation you want to wear. And why do I bring this up? Well, a studio in and of itself is a cooperative unit of different pieces. There's the bills that have to be paid, from the heating bill to the lighting bill to painting and getting things done, all the way through servicing clients, whether it is multiple at once or just a single client at the time. There is the entire brand of the business, which is the cooperative functioning or cooperative unit that is created from all of these pieces that come together. And I bring that up because, again, cooperatively, you don't know what you're going to come up against. And so we all have different skill sets, or there's different pieces of the puzzle that can then be, you know, called upon when different things come up. For instance, I am not very good with websites. My virtual assistant, however, is really, really good with websites, and she's good with techie stuff. And while I can figure techie stuff out, it's easier for me to have her handle those things because she knows the questions to ask, whereas I might be learning half of the time rather than actually executing. And that's not really a good use of my time. So hopefully that example makes sense. So, what does that have to do with ancient wisdom and or modern modalities of healing or wellness, or the both of them together, or all three together? Well, it deals with the fact that authentically, if you are living into who you really are, the role that you are filling within a functional unit, whether it's as an employee or within the business, or you know the business that you own. Maybe you are just the owner and you are the organizing factor for things. Maybe you actually service clients. Maybe you just pay the bills, or maybe maybe you're the manager. There's so many different ways you can articulate it. But if we are being authentic, that thing that we're doing within the business should feel very natural to us. Otherwise, we're just exchanging our time for a paycheck, which, if there's a means to an end, yeah, that's fine, right? It's all about the function. If you need resources, and one of those resources is money, and you need to exchange your time to get that resource to be functional within your family unit or functional in life and the greater community, then that makes sense, right? But a lot of times I feel like we get stuck in this survival mode, but it's not just survival mode. It is this our head is down for so long, we don't or can't look up, or by the time we do look up, we can't recognize anything around us. And within that, we then are just trying to make do with what's there. And or sometimes you feel like you're too far gone that you can't make your way back, or oh man, I've deviated so significantly from what I thought my life would be that it's not even worth it. I mean, you could insert any number of ways of conceiving of this, or thinking about it. And so authenticity is about expressing yourself to the highest degree without reservation for the beauty that is you within a functional unit, within a community. And if you find yourself in a community that you don't feel allows you to be authentically you, or that you really want to be a part of, find another one. Like, resignation for your location isn't really the definition of an organism. Organisms learn how to thrive where they are at, yes. But if you have the ability to move because of the type of organism you are, then you can do that. Like, for instance, plants. Yes, they can't move. Yes, they are immobile in many ways, but what do they have that they can do as a way of becoming mobile? They can quickly go to seed and then disperse that way, right? And so their function wasn't necessarily to be the mover, but to be the progenitor of the movement, right? And so we, being creatures with legs and arms and any number of places that we can move to, sometimes we can up and choose where we go. Or maybe, if the resources you need aren't where you're at, maybe you end up being a commuter and you drive to where you need to get them. All I'm trying to say here is authenticity has more to do with you being you in a way that isn't a show, isn't a put on, isn't independent of your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, or your why. Your why is an authentic thing. And if you're not tied to a why that is authentic to you, it drains you. It becomes cumbersome, it becomes challenging. What does yoga call us to do? Yoga calls us to let go of all the things places, situations, people that are holding us back from being who we really are. And yoga does that through living rightly, living well with others, breathing right, moving right, and then clearing our mind for the meditative process. That was a very, very hacked job of describing Ashtanga yoga from Patanjali. Anyway, friends, I just wanted to come on here. We did it. We got the studio open, and I'm back to podcasting, and I am so grateful to have you here with me. Till next time. Peace.